Alan Babic stepped into the ring this past Saturday, April 22nd, against Lucas Rozanski from Poland. And this fight turned out to be a Blitz in the first round, where Babic saw himself on the losing end. Let's talk about what went down with Babic the Savage. This past Saturday, the WBC promoted a fight with the Bridgerweight title on the line. Now, Bridgerweight is just the smallest of heavyweights. It's still the heavyweight division. And it saw sensation Alan Babic take on Lucas Rozanski in Poland. This was a fight between two men who have more of a crude style, but crowd pleasing nonetheless, because this is the type of fighter and fight where they just kind of drop it and let it all hang out. But surprisingly, it went a different way, and Babic, who is known as the Savage, came into this fight ironically looking to try and box Rozanski, who entered the fight as a brawling knockout puncher from Poland. This fight lasted one round, and Rozanski, who's now 15-0 with 14 KOs, entered the fight looking to lay hands on Babic immediately. It seemed that Babic wanted to take his time, feel him out a bit, and actually try to work behind a jab, where Rozanski was having none of that. He just started letting his fists fly. And once he recognized the fact that his punches were landing on Babic, and Babic was caught a little bit cold, Rozanski just turned up the heat from there. And it became sort of a battle of a mismatch. Babic was never able to recover to give back what he was on the receiving end of. And for the man who has talked about being a warrior and a blood and guts fighter, Babic, who's now 11-1 with 10 KOs, was being pummeled mercilessly in this fight. And he just didn't seem to be ready. Could it have been the environment? Maybe he wasn't ready to endure what he was dealing with the entire promotion, fighting on foreign soil, in the opponent's backyard. This turned out to be a little bit more than he was prepared for, and there was nothing that he can do. As this fight culminated, Babic just took it. I wasn't expecting that from him. I really looked at he as a fighter who was gonna be in there. He was either gonna get you or you were gonna get him, but typically he would show something that says he's there. He wants you to feel his pound of flesh. He wants to go after you. But in this fight, he was wide open. There was no defense toward what Rozanski was bringing. And in the heavyweight division, that is an Achilles. It's a serious problem. You have to be able to protect yourself at all times. You need to not take the blunt force of all of your opponent's punches. You need to be able to block, parry, slip, let shots roll off your shoulders and arms. Babic did none of that. He caught punches and shots flush. And Rozanski built up confidence immediately as he began to pound away at Babic. In an emotional post-fight video that he uploaded later, Babic spoke about not understanding what happened in this fight. He spoke about being caught cold, a little bit off guard, and he was not in a good place emotionally. It was the sustained aggression that Rozanski brought in the fight. And Rozanski, who appeared to be a little bit slight as opposed to Babic in their height, he was really all in on this. I mean, not Mike Tyson like. I would never try to compare that. But he understood what opportunity meant. And when a guy lets you hit him like that, you go ahead and get him out of there. Don't play with your food and perform. Rozanski understood the task at hand, and he knew he was at home. And he knew that if he came out and he gave it his all, this could happen. Where was Babic psychologically? I have no idea. This man has been in the gyms with the likes of Tyson Fury, and he has been in there gaining experience, and he has talked a tough man's game. But one thing he showed in this fight was extreme uncertainty when hurt. He had no idea what to do when you get rocked or shaken up. He didn't clinch. He didn't reach out to try to stop his opponent to slow momentum. He just sort of backpedaled and stepped back toward the ropes, where eventually he found himself on the canvas. You can't do that. That is the type of thing that can end your career if you fight certain type of fighters who are killers. And in the heavyweight division, it typically just takes one big punch from a heavyweight. But in this instance, Babic took several, and Rozanski understood. He followed it up and followed it up, and he proved why his record is what it is. He gets people out of there. And though he's fought primarily in a small pond, this victory may launch him toward other names in the sport. Opportunity is always there, and when fighters step up, this is what can happen. What will be next for Rozanski remains to be seen. He's getting on, and he's proven to be a fighter that can take it. But at the age of 37, he doesn't have a lot of time. Babic, who's 32, has to consider what his next moves will be as well. Does he take softer touches? This was supposed to be a fight on paper that he had an opportunity to win. Though many didn't know who Rozanski was, Rozanski and Babic were, in my consideration, a 50-50 fight. And that was until the first bell rang. I believe that going forward, when you look at fighters like this, a fighter with a finisher's mentality like Rozanski presented in this fight will always have an advantage, because that aggression and that adrenaline can carry you over. All you need to do is get your punch in there and you have that shot. Rozanski can go in there and be an opponent for other named fighters. There are fighters out there that I would love to see him fight. A fighter like Jermaine Franklin, for example. That would be a pretty good mix-up. Or a fighter like Dillian White. Give him a shot, because he's gonna give it as well as he receives it. I haven't seen what type of chin Rozanski has, because Babic never got the opportunity to test it out. But I'm thinking that he may be the type of guy that he can give a quality heavyweight a few rounds of action, but he'll be bowing out himself. But this happens in the sport of boxing, and I was somewhat happy to see that the Savage was humbled a little bit, because he has a very aggressive mentality. This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's see what's in store for Lucas Rozanski. Will the pole run afoul, or will he be right on target for his next match? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.